He spent the previous 7 years with the Titans. He signed a 2-year deal with Buffalo in March. He was the 112th pick overall in 2014 out of Penn State. Buffalo is opening up against the defending champs, the Rams, on September 8th. That's a big one. We are joined right now by DaQuan Jones. DaQuan, great to have you on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. Thanks for doing it. So let me ask you, if you go back to free agency, you obviously were looking at some options. You had different things you could have done. What was it that let you know that Buffalo was the right place for you?
I mean, for me, it came down to really two things. The opportunity to win the championship, right? And this team is very close in doing so. And also being close to home. Spending 7 years in Tennessee, not a lot of family came to games. Then last year in Carolina, not a lot of people came out there either. So, I grew up in Binghamton, which is 3 hours away from Buffalo. So I get to have a lot of family here, be able to focus and really work on my craft this year, not to worry about too many distractions. And then obviously go in and have the opportunity to win a championship with this great organization.
That's it. DaQuan Jones joining us. I was going to ask you about that. Are you from Binghamton or are you from Johnson City?
I'm from Johnson City. I say Binghamton just because everyone kind of knows where that's at more than JC, but they're right next to each other.
Fact of the matter is you're close, though. You're back home. Now, there was a time, DaQuan, not that long ago, that I used to talk to Bills safety Micah Hyde, and we would talk about the fact that free agents were always overlooking Buffalo, and it didn't seem like a place back then that they wanted to play or where they wanted to live. How much has changed since then, and how excited are you to be there? Not just because you're closer to home, but because it is Buffalo, because it is the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, they over the last 5 years, they really built a winning culture over here. And, I don't think you can talk about the Bills and not think about winning. So I think that has a lot to do with people want to come here in free agency, knowing what they're doing out there, knowing how this team competes. Especially for me, I mean, I was on the number 2 defense last year with Carolina, and the Bills are number 1. And I wanted the opportunity to be able to line up with these guys and see what that margin of difference was. And, so far in OTAs, I'm definitely seeing it, and I'm really excited for the squad.
DaQuan Jones joining us, excuse me. Also, back in January, during that Buffalo-Kansas City game, you tweeted, quote, Josh bleeping Allen in all caps, except it was not censored. It was an amazing tweet, man, an amazing tweet. And I think it summed up what all of us were thinking during that game. What did you see in him and the way he competed that made you tweet that?
Dude, he's a competitor, man. I mean, watching that game, he was going out there, no care in the world. I mean, both defenses were out there flying around playing their best ball, but at the same time, them 2 quarterbacks were playing lights out. And the fact that he kept going out there and answering and making crucial drives and crucial throws, I mean, you don't see that very often. And it was amazing to watch.
All right, so you've played in 109 games since the start of the 2015 season. I say that because that is the 4th most among defensive tackles. You know the old saying, availability is your best ability. Since you're playing such an extremely physically demanding position, how do you go about taking care of your body to make sure that you are ready and you are able to play in every single game virtually?
I think it's learning your body. The first couple of years are trial and error. But at the same time, just really listen to your body, knowing when to take days off, knowing when to push it. And I kind of learned how to master that early just from the help from very smart veterans that I played along with throughout my career. So for me, it's just really just trying to maintain my body and be smart with it. Not really doing too much stuff, but just the right stuff.
All right, so who were some of the guys that helped you on the way up? Like, you're in a position now where you can give back and you can help some of the younger guys. Who were some of the guys who were there for you when you first came in?
Yeah, well, when I started out in Tennessee, I had Gerald Casey out there, and Sammy Hill and Brian Arakpo and Derek Morgan, even Wesley Woodyard. I mean, that group right there was a solid core group that kind of helped mold me into the player I am today. I mean, they kind of showed me everything on the field and off the field. So I'm very appreciative of those guys.
Those are all solid guys. Now, the thing is, DaQuan Jones joining us, the thing is, Todd Place, who coached you in 7th grade, told the Buffalo News that he was struck by your work ethic way back in the day and that you kept on working even though other people would have stopped. I mean, we're talking about a guy who had you in 7th grade. Where did that work ethic come from at such a young age?
It came down to really I had to make a decision if I wanted to play football or kind of be running the streets with a lot of my friends at the time that we're doing. And I had a coach in Bill Spalek who really helped me out there. No matter where I was the night before, he would come pick me up at 5:30 in the morning. We'd go up to the Johnson City High School and work out before school, and we did another workout after school. So he kept me busy my whole time during sports and during the school year. really help push my game and elevate me as an athlete and player.
He also says he loves the fact that you're going to be in Buffalo because it's an inspiration to everybody else in Johnson City. So what does that role mean to you? How much pride do you take in the fact that people are now looking to you? You're an inspiration. You're a role model.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I know a lot of people back home are Bills fans and grew up Bills fan. And one of my coaches took me to one of my first ever NFL games was the Bills game, and that was Denver versus the Bills. So it really means a lot to be able to play for a team like this and have people so proud of what I've done so far in my career and be able to kind of wrap it up here in Buffalo. So it's really cool and just, honestly a blessing to be able to do that and bring that kind of joy to people.
All right, so you've got this great opportunity on the field, but with great opportunities on the field, sometimes it leads to other things off the field. You have opened up the Legacy Lounge back home. I'm really curious about that. Like, what is that all about? And then the name itself, Legacy Lounge, where did that come from?
I'm a big guy on legacy, and for me, a saying that stuck in my head was create your legacy. I've been saying it for years. I want to leave my legacy behind and not be known just for the football player, but everything else. So, I'm really big into real estate. I'm big into the stock market. I'm trying to be a businessman and open up a lounge and hopefully one day open a restaurant. So I just kind of want to be a jack of all trades and kind of leave my mark, especially in my hometown, bringing stuff that I grew up. There's not a lot of stuff to do. There's not a lot of diversity and as far as the bars and going out. So I just wanted to bring something new that I kind of got the experience while traveling, the country, and I just wanted to bring something new back home.
DaQuan Jones joining us. I like that. I respect that. So you talk about being a stock market guy. How do you approach that? Are you a crypto guy? Do you buy the blue chips, the equities? How do you approach the stock market right now?
More of an equity guy myself, but at the same time, I just try to be very dialed in with my financial team and what we're doing, so I can keep on learning at my pace and take it day by day. But I'm right there with them, make sure I'm learning and make sure I know what my money's doing and how it's working for me.
All right, so you're also active on Twitter. During the draft, what did you think when you saw your old team, the Titans, trade A.J. Brown to the Eagles?
I thought that was pretty crazy. He's a heck of a player, and I have number 11 respect for AJ, and so I, for the Titans too. But I just thought that was pretty wild. You have a player in AJ Brown who, can dominate any given game, given the opportunity to be a true number one. But I'm excited for him to be in Philly. I'm excited he got the deal he got, and hopefully it's number up from there.
That was a pretty wild deal. DaQuan, what was your reaction to Aaron Donald getting that deal? Like, not additional years, nothing to give back to the team, but just a straight-up $40 million raise. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, he's the best DT to play the game right now, and it was well-deserved, and I'm happy for him, and it couldn't happen to anyone better. So he kind of set the bar for what the D-tackle position is going to be for the next couple of years and what everyone's chasing. So, I mean, it's great for DTs.
Speaking of the Rams, you've got some work to do between now and then, but is that matchup in prime time to open up the year against the defending Super Bowl champs, is that in the back of your mind? And if so, how eager are you to play that game?
Honestly, I'm not even lying here. I haven't really thought about it just because right now I'm learning a whole new playbook. I'm trying to learn everyone's names here at the Bills, so I got my hands full right now. But come training camp, once times get closer, that's when I start focusing and honing in on that opponent. But right now, I'm just trying to beat this opponent right here, which is the Bills, and trying to work on myself.
Hey, dude, I get that. Like, when you go into a whole new situation, you got to learn a new playbook, you got to learn the facility, you got to learn these names. In fact, how do you learn everybody's names? You like hitting everybody with, yo, what's up, home slice? What up, chief? What up, bro? How you doing, dude?
Everyone, when you get to a new spot, everyone has a nickname, right? So now you got to learn nicknames, then you got to learn the real name. So it's double learning. So right now, I'm just trying to wean out the nicknames, learn the real names, and I'll learn the nicknames from there. I
got it. He spent last season with the Panthers. He spent the previous 7 years with the Titans. He just signed a 2-year deal with Buffalo. DaQuan Jones, my guest. DaQuan, appreciate you very much. Great to have you on the show. Thanks. Let's do it again soon. That was great.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir.
it.
Appreciate you. That was fun. Good player. I like that. I like that energy. Buffalo Bills. It was not that long ago where folks did not want to be a part of that energy. And now everybody wants to be a part of that energy. It's a great organization. It's a great town, a great team. And yes, a great town. They love that team. I think they're the ones to beat, personally.